In this episode of the Cannabis Packaging Show, we look at the best topical packaging for those who want to create a top cannabis brand. The Cannabis Packaging Show is brought to you by Contempo Specialty Packaging, the new standard of excellence in cannabis packaging.
Welcome to the Cannabis Packaging Show, the world's first cannabis packaging show. Thank you for sticking with us through this series. If this is the first video in the series that you've clicked on, make sure to go back. We've already covered flower, pre-rolls, the best packaging for 2021. Flower, pre-rolls, edibles, concentrates. I think it was actually concentrates, edibles. Anyways, we're on topicals now. We're going to mix together topicals and oils and sublinguals just because I don't want sublinguals to get their own episode. And, technically, sometimes these tincture type bottles can be used as serum. So I'm going to sort of group these all in together. We're Contempo Specialty Packaging if you don't know us yet. And if you're wondering why I have these lanyards around my neck, we're doing a little competition. If you can guess the number of lanyards around my neck, send your guess to @Contempo Specialty on Instagram, direct message us. Whoever gets the answer right first gets a $1,000 credit. And like I said in the last episode, we went to just about every show, I feel, over the last 3 years before we had this incident this year. And it just reminds us to strike when the iron's hot, seize the moment. We've become one of the leading cannabis packaging companies in the world because we struck while the iron's hot and because we have some of the best products in the industry. I want to show you these products for topicals and a little more. Topicals plus. Okay? One item that's not shown here, I want you guys to email me at wow@contempopackaging.com. It's our topical spray and lotion pump. It's child resistant. It's a 2-piece closure, which would be very easy for assembly and automation lines. It has custom dosing, and it's made for either topicals, either sprays, sublingual sprays, and perhaps even it can be used as a sublingual replacement to sublingual tinctures, which we hear a lot about in the Canadian market from our Canadian customers. So that is not shown here. It is not something that I'm looking to share right now, but if you are a cannabis company that's looking to either topicals, it's a pump, it's child resistant, sprays, sublingual sprays, or it could be sprays more for a topical sense, or even a sublingual tincture replacement, this could be the perfect product. Again, precise dosing, and that's it. Okay, so we'll leave it there. If you're interested in that, please hit us up, wow@contempopackaging.com. That one is confidential for the time being. So let's start over here. Child-resistant squeeze tubes. And also non-child resistant squeeze tubes. So let's start with the non-child resistant version, and this is how squeeze tubes will arrive to you as a customer. There's like a hole in the bottom, and you'll have equipment that crimps and seals this. There's a variety of equipments that can do that. And the nice thing is, if it's not a child resistant version, you can go with this flip cap that a lot of you are probably familiar with. So this is CBD gels and creams and stuff. Flip cap, custom branded. That's a beautiful option. If you're doing a child-resistant version, you can still, this would have to be child-resistant, and this would have to adhere to the bottle. We thought about it, but frankly, like anything else, priorities, we didn't prioritize that. But that's potentially an interesting idea that could be developed. But these CR squeeze tubes, this specific customer is in love with these tubes. They say their customers love them, and they love them. You can custom color the caps. They will arrive with a little foil seal on the bottom. And the nice thing about squeeze tubes, we have a wide variety of cap sizes. So the way that these work is you have the cap size, and then you can basically customize the height for whatever volume you want. So I want 55 ml. We could I want 60 ml. I want 75 ml. So those are CR squeeze tubes. You can also do metallic finishes on the bottom. You can brand them the same way that top companies in every industry brand their squeeze tubes. So those are CR squeeze tubes and also non-CR squeeze tubes. The next product is this product right in front of us. This is a child-resistant, we'll call it the Salve Applicator. You could call it a deodorant stick, but it's not really like a deodorants. Like this is more for topical use there. It's a child-resistant version of it. So this is not the child-resistant version, but that will be coming to you very soon. So that's a product that we heard market feedback. The options were very limited. There were no good child-resistant options. We tested a number of mechanisms, and we chose one, and we filed patents on it as well. So this is going to be a phenomenal product. It's got a great weight to it. It can be beautifully branded, and if you're in the topical business, you definitely want to check out this product. Next up for topicals are CR glass jars. We've covered those in a few episodes, but just in case this is the first episode you're watching, and in case it isn't, I'll go fast. Many ways to custom brand these. You can emboss on the lid with your logo. You can do wood engravings. You can stain the wood specific, shades so that your logo really pops out. Those are CR glass jars. We'll leave it there. Next up is the industry jar. The industry jar is a phenomenal product for many things, flour especially, edibles. Topicals is one also that the industry jar is being heavily adopted. And just a reminder, we have our USA stock program, meaning the goods are literally sitting downstairs in our warehouse as opposed to needing to be produced. So the industry jar, we recently had someone order that for their topicals. We naturally dressed it with a beautiful label, but if you have the time, look, it's all about timing. It's all about, I think, generally we would all agree that if time allows, it's better to have a beautiful, unique product. Like I say, it's easy to recognize on the shelf rather than using the same packaging as everyone else. We know that using the same packaging as everyone else is a very bad idea long term. Sometimes you have to do it short term, but it's a bad idea long term. So when you get to those scenarios where you have to use the same packaging or generic packaging, A, it's a beautiful generic package, but B, put a nice label on it, a beautiful label on it. We can show you how to do that, but that's more when you're in a pinch. I really want people to not just do the path of least resistance, which often is the easiest path, but it often is not the best path. Just like many areas of life, right? The easy is not necessarily the best way to go about it. That's the industry jar. Comes in multiple sizes. I think you guys are generally familiar on that. And Instagram's also a good place. We've done cool videos showing how the industry jar opens and operates. So definitely add us on Instagram at Contempo Specialty. The next product is the CS Value Jar. Just another item we've covered in other different episodes, but this could work for topicals as well. You can custom brand the colors, foil stamping, all sorts of finishes to be custom tailored to your brand. The next product is the Vault Box, the cannabis industry's favorite child-resistant box. So you've seen the Vault Box before, sturdy, rigid, premium, beautiful. This one could be used for, we've had several customers have us produce a topical pump that's made out of glass, which we don't carry in a child-resistant design, but let's say a ceramic coated glass with a nice clear cap over the top, and then sitting in a vault box, which has a nice profile in your stores, and that's definitely going to stand out. And like I say, you want your brand not only to catch the customer on the first time, so they pick you, not only to give them a good customer experience and good unboxing experience, but this is the one that a lot of people forget, and it's so important, so that if they like your product, they can find you easily, or if they're in a new dispensary, they can go, oh, that's that brand. That is the Vault Box, and you want your packaging to be easy to recognize. If you're using the same packaging as everyone else, it's not going to be easy to recognize, and you're becoming a commodity day over day over day. Using a generic container with a label is a bad idea long term, and I hope Contempo can help, but if you want to use somebody else to do that, you can still come back and say, oh, Mike, you gave me that idea. And that's good for Contempo long term. That's good for, I don't know. I think it's just good to send that message. So I want that message to really be absorbed by everyone watching these videos, that in 2021 and beyond, you do not want to be using the same packaging as everyone else. Even if it's easy, even if it's convenient, it's probably not a good idea for your brand. Okay? We'll stop pushing that too hard. Josh, are we pushing it too hard? It's like I wanna make the point because I know it's in your best interest to hear that, but I also don't want to say it 1,000 times so you're like, why is this guy repeating himself 1,000 times? Secondary packaging now. Flat folding boxes, again, we've made those for decades. You can do all sorts of cool textures and finishes, and you can put tamper-evident labels, and there's 1,000 things you can do. I mean, tamper-evident labels are separate from the boxes, but many box options. If you wanted to put a tamper-evident label over the box, you can do that as well. These sort of spiral tube boxes, good for tinctures, good for topicals, and these can also be made exactly to the vibe of the brand you're going for. But again, it takes more time than buying a generic. You guys know that. And last but not least, tinctures. So you got tincture bottles. They can come in these displays. You've probably seen these sort of displays that ship like a box, and then you sort of perf this little line, and then peel it back. So tinctures plus displays, and these are often used, as I said in the beginning of this episode, for like a high-end serum or something like that. But typically we call them tincture bottles, at least in the cannabis industry. You got a bronze top there, a red metallic top. You can both customize the color of the rubber dropper, and you can also customize the shape. So there's some like more rounded ones versus some more squared ones. So there's a lot of customization options you can use in your tinctures as opposed to just going with a black opaque Boston round or something like what you see right here. Right? So this is more of a stock option versus beautiful option. So if you have a little more time, if you plan a little bit better, and also if you don't have the time initially, that's fine. That's life. Like I certainly don't have time to do everything perfectly the first time in our business as well. But then you iterate, and the next round, and we can help make that process really easy so that your next round can be the beautiful child-resistant packaging. If you want more information on the new bottle or any of these products, or if you want to see our complete catalog, email wow@contemplepackaging.com and check us out on Instagram @contempleспecialty. And guess how many lanyards I have. Josh is going to guess too, and if Josh is right, then Josh gets the $1,000 bonus, and you are all out of luck. What do you think, Josh? Are those good rules? That sounds pretty good. Not bad, right? All right, let's do that. All right. So we're going to let you pick on the next episode, and then I'll let you know if you're right. Okay? All right. Thank you all for watching the Cannabis Packaging Show. Wish Josh very bad luck, because if he guesses right, none of you can win this contest. Okay? All kidding aside, really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you're enjoying this video series. We'll see you on the next episode.